In this video, I'm going to talk about how we can solve expressions that have brackets, because it's important to realize that those brackets have to be gone by the end, right? Brackets should be gone by the end of solving expressions. For example, this bracket, or this expression, f bracket open m plus k bracket closed, how can we solve this? How can we remove the brackets? So to make it a bit simpler, I'm going to try to tell you a story, change maps into a story, to be able to show you how we can solve these brackets. So imagine F here stands for Felicity, M stands for Maria, and K stands for Kriska. So imagine we've got Felicity, who's going to go visit Maria and Kriska at their home, and they both live in the same home. So we've got Felicity has to decide who she wants to spend time with, and because they're both really good friends, she wants to spend time with both Maria and Kriska. So Felicity is going to spend time, as in times, which is also another word for multiply, is going to spend times with Maria, plus she's also going to spend time with Kriska. So what's going to happen is it's going to look like this. We're going to have Felicity, so F times M, because Felicity spends time with Maria, so F times M, plus, that plus stays, Felicity also, remember Felicity also spends time, as in the multiplication time, with Kriska. So this is how we have now removed the brackets, and the only thing we have to do at the end now is realize that F times M, there's a way that we can simplify that, because F times M is the same as just saying Fm, because when there's two pronumerals next to each other and it's times, we don't write the times sign. So F plus M plus Fk. Right, so that's how we have removed those brackets, because Felicity spends both time with Maria and she also spends time with Kriska. Now another really easy example is what happens if we don't have pronumerals, what happens if we have numbers. Same thing. In this case, the 3 will spend time with the 4, and the 3 will also, plus the 3 will also spend time with the 2. So we have 3 times 4, that's 12. And remember the plus stays, plus 3 times 2, and that would be 6. Right, so when it comes to numbers and pronumerals, it works the same way. Take the outside number and times it by the first, and then you take the outside number and times it by the second, and then that's your removing the brackets. At the end, we've got no brackets left. What I'm going to talk about now is how we can use algebra to complete something we call a table of values. And before I go into table of values, I'll just go through an example we covered beforehand already. So for example, if we have 2 plus y equals 5, how can we figure out which number y stands for? Remember in primary school we had 2 plus that box equals 5, and then that box just stands for a missing number, so we would know 2 plus what equals 5, in this case 2 plus 3 equals 5. So that box would be 3. In this case, it works the same way. 2 plus y equals 5, so what is y? Well, 2 plus 3 equals y, so y equals 3. Right, that's just basically substituting or finding out what a pronumeral, what value a pronumeral has. But now I'll go into something which is related but a bit different. So down here we have something we call an equation. So we have y equals x plus 2. This is what we call an equation. Now from that equation we often can fill in a table of values, and below here is your table of values. Now all you need to know is with your table of values we tend to have x already given, so if we say x is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, these are your values for x, and what we have to find out is we have to find our values for y. So the y ones we don't have given. But if we have this equation right here, y equals x plus 2, we can find out all those y values, because it says that y equals x plus 2. So for example, if x equals 1, so instead of x here, we would just put in 1. So y equals 1 plus 2. So we would find out then that y equals 3. So what happens if x equals 2? Right? So for the next one, x equals 2. Same idea. So instead of x, we would write it in 2. And then 2 plus 2 equals y. And 2 plus 2 is 4. So y equals 4. Same story again. for the next one, if x equals 3, we put in, instead of x, we put in 3, and so that's 3 plus 2, and that will be y, so y is 3 plus 2, and y is then 5. And you go and get the rest done, and then you get basically this kind of tables of values. So what you need to do, often when you've got tables of values given, you've got two things. First of all, you have your equation, and second of all, you got your table of values. So all you got to do is you got to put in, to find the y, you got to put in the actual value for x into that equation, solve it, and then put that number down for y. If it's different prenumerals, so if this says A and this says B, it doesn't matter. It works the same way, right? So you just got to be able to figure out basically what y is by having your equation above. But it's not too hard.